by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray.
Welcome to Week 10, boys. Tonto's Demise Podcast. Detonators here. Tonto Bowl 6 champ, as always.
Detling here, Tonto Bowl 1 and 3 champion, as always.
Welcome back. Glad to see you made it home alive.
Barely, but I am here.
Yeah.
Sobered up. All good.
I think everybody enjoyed your random, 4 a.m. messages on the board.
Yeah, especially when nobody would talk back to me. I forgot there was a 3-hour time difference.
I was thinking, what are you doing at 4 a.m.? What possesses you? I need to go tell somebody on the fantasy football board. That's weird.
Well, actually, I can't remember what I said. Some of it was Sunday stuff. For the stuff that was even crazier was out in Vegas. After partying all night, I'd sleep till 3 p.m. or 5 p.m., which is 8 p.m. your time. So pretty much when you were going to bed or getting ready to go to bed, I was waking up, getting ready to party again.
So when it was 4 a.m. there, it was 7 a.m. here.
Yeah. So I went to bed at 7:30 a.m. there one morning, I should say.
Yeah, because I think I remember reading it right before I went to school. And it said, Downing just posted this 10 minutes ago. And I was eating my breakfast, watching TV at 6:30.
Yeah. Jimmy Crick was giving me props for pulling it out. You know, he just said, we're going to school, or we're going to work, and Detling's still putting one in. Yeah. He's like, give me respect. Maybe not respect, but just pointing it out. They also pointed out the 2-day hangover. When you hit 30 or above, it takes you 2 days of a hangover to get over, basically, because you're not young, you're not 21 anymore, and that is the truth.
But you just told me you didn't go 2 days, though. You went back the next night.
I did. I went back the next night, but I slept until 5 p.m., and then went back, went out, had some food, started again, and then the very next day when the wedding was, where people were drinking, I had one drink, and that was it. I had half a shot of whiskey because a guy threw it my way, and then I had a Tito's vodka and something else. And if you haven't tried Tito's vodka, it's pretty good, pretty smooth.
It's good to know.
But I still could not. Everybody else went to drink at the house party, and I was just like, I'm having water.
Yeah.
I cannot have anything else right now.
And I also point out, Delling said that he was offered and he was invited to go to the strip club, but he was too drunk to go. That's sad, man.
That's true. It's 4 a.m. They wanted to go to the strip club, and I just wanted to go home and vomit. And that's what I did. And I was happy. Trust me. There's no way I was going to make it.
You know, Craig Kabisic was praying that you made it to the strip club. So you can get
God.
a good story.
So I got other stories. You don't need to be strip club stories. Craig is a legend when it comes to strip clubs. You want all the stories, they're from Craig. The one is Justice Horse Bachelor Party. Never seen anything like it. Craig walks right through the door, runs right up to the stage, grabs a chair, puts $1 in his mouth, and just sticks his chin up, waiting for the girl. In most circles of men, that's legendary, but in most circles of women, that's just disgusting. So he's a legend either way, I guess.
Yeah, it's true.
If girls knew the truth about Craig and strip clubs, never see the light of day.
No one would believe it.
No. You'd have to see it with your own face, man.
Yeah.
I remember it, and I was even on acid. So that's what I remember, that strip club, and I didn't want to dance. I did not want to pay for a dance. Me and Vince just wanted to sit there and talk, and then we actually paid a girl to leave, get away from us, because she shook her things in her face and she said, "Give me money." We said, "Why? What for? We don't want anything." Well, I got to pay the DJ, I got to pay the promoter, I got to pay the club, blah 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 blah. And I just said, well, if I give you $5, will you leave? And she said, yeah. She gave us this dirty look and just laughed. And I looked at Vince, I was like, what's her problem? Totally didn't even consider the fact that we were in a strip club.
Exactly. That's her place of business. She's expecting you to tip her,
But we were all the way in the back of the corner.
Yeah.
We were staying as far away as possible. We weren't up there throwing dollars at the dancers.
True. You weren't up at the stage.
No. All I ever did, I wanted to buy Justin a dance, and it was from this girl that, at the time, it was the closest thing I could find to, it was a really Halle Berry lookalike, but she was nowhere near looking like Halle Berry. But that's why I wanted to give Justin the dance, and I made it sure to get to her. And when Justin came back out from the girl that he liked, I think her name was Candy.
Okay.
And then as soon as I got my dance for Justin, I was happy. I gave him a little bit of his bachelor present, bachelor day. What is it called? What do we do? A bachelor party.
Bachelor party, yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was a good time.
Okay.
No more stories about that. We're done.
I'm glad to heard you make it back. How are the boys in the hospital? I appreciate you calling in last week. There's a lot of calls. A lot of calls.
The boys in the hospital. Let me tell you, it's
getting worse.
It is getting worse. Imagine sitting there in Vegas. You got your suitcase. You're leaving Sunday night, but you got to walk around with your suitcase for a while. I'm watching the Steeler game. I'm just like, all right, Ben's back. It's awesome. First of all, he could have thrown to somebody else besides Antonio freaking Brown. I made a gamble, and boy, it was so stupid. It cost me a win.
Marcus Wheaton.
Marcus Wheaton,
Yeah.
Heath Miller.
He's burned everybody.
Yeah, and I honestly did consider at the time picking up Cole Beasley, but
wow.
but his note said don't even touch him because he hasn't been thrown to, and I was like, and I just don't even. I passed over. I said, I'll listen to that guy, and I don't even know why I picked Marcus Wheaton. I mean, the thing is because the wide receivers are just so shitty in the waiver wire, and I thought Oakland had they're do terrible against tight ends, so I thought Heath Miller and Big Ben would connect a lot.
I thought he would have had a much better game.
Yeah, you just can't. You guys got to take a lot into consideration about Antonio Brown just being so good. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if Darrell Revis could cover him. To be honest, when Ben Roethlisberger's throwing,
Yeah.
they're just on such a level together that it's amazing. But yeah, then seeing Big Ben go down.
Were you watching?
Yeah, I saw it. I was just heartbroken. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I thought his foot was broken. I mean, it was all of his weight on the back of his ankle. I thought for sure his foot was broken.
Yeah,
It was bad.
I just pretty much admitted defeat. I just said, you know what? The fantasy gods are not with me this year at all.
Wow.
So I don't
mean,
think.
you got 60 points out of it.
Yeah, but there's just nothing. There's just nothing
Yeah.
left. I'm defeated right now. I really am.
Because he's going to be out for another at least 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
Well, with the bye.
With the bye.
Yeah, so more than likely, it could be the defeat.
I've got Kirk Cousins going against New Orleans, boys. I hope it's a shootout. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much 1-1 away from taking down my team name forever. Right now, I'm Huber Squashed.
Yeah. Did you change it?
I did not change it yet. My rule of thumb is that I will change the name when I have a losing record against the Huber Squashers.
Okay.
So,
But against the Hubers.
Hubers. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, you know, against the Hubers. So you guys need to root for me to get in the playoffs so Huber can beat me so I have a losing record. Now, if I have
Did
a tie...
you play Jimmy this year already?
No, he's coming up.
All right.
Looking at the projections, I think he might actually win, which is even scarier.
Which means you will then change your team name.
Yes, I will definitely I will wipe away the Huber Squasher name forever.
Forever?
Forever.
Wow.
Yeah, I will take it away and see if anybody else can become the Huber Squasher. But my record against him is so good that it's almost like when the Hubers play against me, it's almost like any team that plays against the New England Patriots. Like I'm sure that they're looking for bugs in their house. You know, they don't want to give. Jimmy does not want to give any artwork or anything that he does to people because he thinks that I'm going to get a hold of it. Know what he's thinking. He didn't invite me to his wedding simply because he knows I'm going to get some inside information.
He's afraid you're going to try and make out with his bride to be.
I would never make out with his bride.
You mean never again?
Never. Never.
Never again.
This girl is too good of a girl. She's a super nice girl. Haven't met her. I just get that vibe from Jimmy. He's happy. He's lost weight. All that stuff. Now we could revisit his other wife. Ex-wife,
Should we?
Angie.
Yeah.
I mean, she makes good stromboli over what do you call it? Potato chips.
It's true. One of the best Trimbolis ever.
Yeah, she's fun to dance with.
Why'd you have to make out with her?
Because you got me drunk at your wedding.
I got you drunk. That was my goal. I was
your
trying to get
goal.
you drunk.
You were trying to get me drunk to make out with Jimmy's wife at the time to start a rift between us so that you could rule the fantasy football world. It's coming out right now.
My plan worked to perfection.
Yeah, so none of us are going to make the playoffs. So there's your plan.
Well, if you drop the Huber Squasher name, I think that Jim Crick should pick up the team name Kibisic Crusher. Because, as he pointed out, he hasn't lost him in like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
So I think that he should change his team name to the Kibisic Crusher.
I like that name,
Yeah.
the Kibisic Crusher. That's like the Justin Mahorik's old wrestling move, the Koala Crunch. It's kind of neat. I dig it. Now, I mean, he has to take into account that the Mighty Midgets is, I think that's the team name of his little kid's football team, though.
Yeah, well, maybe he could actually get his kids' team's like football name
Kibisic
changed.
Crusher.
Yeah.
And the emblem on the side of the helmet is like a picture of Craig smiling.
The sunglasses,
Yeah,
the beard.
That'd be a terrible T-shirt to wear.
That would be.
I'd wear it. I would not wear that T-shirt. Sorry, you can wear it.
All right, let's get this week started. That's enough rambling for 1 week.
Okay.
Welcome to week 10, boys. Tonto's Demise podcast. Detonators here. Tonto Bowl 6 champ as always.
Detling here, Tonto Bowl 1 and 3 champion, as always.
Welcome back. Glad to see you made it home alive.
Barely, but I am here.
Yeah.
Sobered up. All good.
I think everybody enjoyed your random 4 a.m. messages on the board.
Yeah, especially when nobody would talk back to me. I forgot there was a 3-hour time difference.
I was thinking, what are you doing at 4 a.m.? What possesses you? I need to go tell somebody on the fantasy football board. That's weird.
Well, actually, I can't remember what I said. Some of it was Sunday stuff. The stuff that was even crazier was out in Vegas. After partying all night, I'd sleep till 3 p.m. or 5 p.m., which is 8 p.m. your time. So pretty much when you were going to bed or getting ready to go to bed, I was waking up, getting ready to party again.
So when it was 4 a.m. there, it was 7 a.m. here.
Yeah. So I went to bed at 7:30 a.m. there one night, or one morning, I should say.
Yeah, because I think I remember reading it right before I went to school. And it said, Downing just posted this 10 minutes ago. And I was eating my breakfast, watching TV at 6:30.
Yeah. Jimmy Crick was giving me props for pulling it out. He just said, we're going to school, or we're going to work, and Detling's still putting one in.
Yeah.
He's like, give me respect. Maybe not respect, but just pointing it out. They also pointed out the 2-day hangover. When you hit 30 or above, it takes you 2 days of a hangover to get over, basically, because you're not young, you're not 21 anymore, and that is the truth.
But you just told me you didn't go 2 days, though. You went back the next night.
I did. I went back the next night, but I slept until 5 p.m. and then went back, went out, had some food, started again, and then the very next day when the wedding was, where people were drinking, I had one drink, and that was it. I had half a shot of whiskey because a guy threw it my way, and then I had a Tito's vodka and something else. And if you haven't tried Tito's vodka, it's pretty good, pretty smooth.
It's good to know.
But I still could not. Everybody else went to drink at the house party, and I was just like, I'm having water.
Yeah.
I cannot have anything else right now.
And I'll also point out, Delling said that he was offered and he was invited to go to the strip club, but he was too drunk to go. That's sad, man.
That's true. It's 4 a.m. They wanted to go to the strip club, and I just wanted to go home and vomit. And that's what I did. And I was happy. Trust me. There's no way I was going to make it.
Craig Kubisik was praying that you made it to the strip club. So you can get
God.
a good story.
So I got other stories. You don't need to be strip club stories. Craig is a legend when it comes to strip clubs. You want all the stories, they're from Craig. The one is Just of a Horse bachelor party. Never seen anything like it. Craig walks straight through the door, runs right up to the stage, grabs a chair, puts $1 in his mouth, and just sticks his chin up, waiting for the girl. In most circles of men, that's legendary, but in most circles of women, that's just disgusting. So he's a legend either way, I guess.
Yeah, this is true.
If girls knew the truth about Craig and strip clubs, never see the light of day.
No one would believe it.
No. You'd have to see it with your own face, man.
Yeah.
I remember it, and I was even on acid. So that's what I remember, that strip club, and I didn't want to dance. I did not want to pay for a dance. Me and Vince just wanted to sit there and talk, and then we actually paid a girl to leave, get away from us, because she shook her things in her face and she said, "Give me money." We said, "Why? What for? We don't want anything." Well, I got to pay the DJ, I got to pay the promoter, I got to pay the club,
True.
blah 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 blah. And I just said, well, if I give you $5, will you leave? And she said, yeah. She gave it to give us this dirty look and just laughed. And I was like, I looked at Vince, I was like, what's her problem? Totally didn't even consider the fact that we were in a strip club.
Exactly. That's her place of business. She's expecting you to tip her,
But we were all the way in the back of the corner.
Yeah.
We were staying as far away as possible. We weren't up there throwing dollars at the
That's
dancers.
True. You weren't up at the stage.
No. All I ever did, I wanted to buy Justin a dance, and it was from this girl that, at the time, it was the closest thing I could find to, it was a really Halle Berry lookalike, but she wasn't. She was nowhere near looking like Halle Berry. But that's why I wanted to give Justin the dance, and I made sure to get to her. And when Justin came back out from the girl that he liked, I think her name was Candy.
Okay.
And then as soon as I got my dance for Justin. I was happy. I gave him a little bit of his bachelor present, bachelor day. What is it called? What do we do? A bachelor party.
Bachelor party, yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was a good time.
Okay.
No more stories about that. We're done.
I'm glad to heard you make it back. How are the boys in the hospital? I appreciate you calling in last week. There's a lot of calls.
The boys in the hospital. Let me tell you, it's
getting worse.
It is getting worse. Imagine sitting there in Vegas. You got your suitcase. You're leaving Sunday night, but you got to walk around with your suitcase for a while. I'm watching the Steeler game. I just like, all right, Ben's back. It's awesome. First of all, he could have thrown to somebody else besides Antonio freaking Brown. I made a gamble, and boy, it was so stupid. It cost me a win.
Marcus Wheaton.
Marcus Wheaton,
Yeah.
Heath Miller.
He's burned everybody.
Yeah, and I honestly did consider at the time picking up Cole Beasley,
wow.
but his note said don't even touch him because he hasn't been thrown to. And I was like, and I just don't even. I passed over. I said, all right, I'll listen to that guy. And I don't even know why I picked Marcus Wheaton. I mean, the thing is because the wide receivers are just so shitty in the waiver wire, and I thought Oakland had they would do terrible against tight ends. So I thought Heath Miller and Big Ben would connect a lot.
I thought he would have had a much better game.
Yeah, you just can't. You guys got to take a lot into consideration about Antonio Brown just being so good. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if Darrell Revis could cover him. To be honest, like when Ben Roethlisberger's throwing,
Yeah.
they're just on such a level together that it's amazing. But yeah, and then seeing Big Ben go down.
Were you watching?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I was just heartbroken. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I thought his foot was broken. I mean, it was all of his weight on the back of his ankle. I thought for sure his foot was broken.
Yeah, I
It was
just
bad.
pretty much admitted defeat. I just said, you know what? The fantasy gods are not with me this year at all.
Wow.
So I don't
mean,
think.
you got 60 points out of it.
Yeah, but there's just nothing. There's just nothing
Yeah.
left. I'm defeated right now. I really am.
Because he's going to be out for another at least 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
Well, with the bye.
With the bye.
Yeah, so more than likely, it could be the defeat.
I've got Kirk Cousins going against New Orleans, boys. I hope it's a shootout. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much 1-1 away from taking down my team name forever. Right now, I'm Huber Squashed.
Yeah, did you change it?
I did not change it yet. My rule of thumb is that I will change the name when I have a losing record against the Huber Squashers.
Okay.
So,
But against the Hubers.
Hubers. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, you know what I mean. Against the Hubers. So you guys need to root for me to get in the playoffs so Huber can beat me so I have a losing record. Now, if I have
Did
a
you,
tie...
did you play Jimmy this year already?
No, he's coming up.
All right.
Looking at the projections, I think he might actually win, which is even scarier.
Which means you will then change your team name.
Yes, I will definitely I will wipe away the Huber Squasher name forever.
Forever?
Forever.
Wow.
Yeah, I will take it away and see if anybody else can become the Huber Squasher. But my record against him is so good that it's almost like when the Hubers play against me, it's almost like any team that plays against the New England Patriots. Like I'm sure that they're looking for bugs in their house. You know, they don't want to give. Jimmy does not want to give any artwork or anything that he does to people because he thinks that I'm going to get a hold of it. Know what he's thinking. He didn't invite me to his wedding simply because he knows I'm going to get some inside information.
He's afraid you're going to try and make out with his bride to be.
I would never make out with his bride.
You mean never again?
Never again. Never.
Never again.
This girl is too good of a girl. She's a super nice girl. Haven't met her. I just get that vibe from Jimmy. He's happy. He's lost weight. All that stuff. Now we can revisit his other wife. ex-wife,
Should we?
Angie.
Yeah.
I mean, she makes good stromboli over what do you call it? Potato chips.
It's true. One of the best Trimbolis ever.
Yeah, she's fun to dance with.
Why'd you have to make out with her?
Because you got me drunk at your wedding.
I got you drunk. That was my goal. I was
your
trying to get
goal.
you drunk.
You were trying to get me drunk to make out with Jimmy's wife at the time to start a rift between us so that you could rule the fantasy football world. It's coming out right now.
My plan worked to perfection.
Yeah, so none of us are going to make the playoffs. So there's your plan.
Well, if you drop the Huber Squasher name, I think that Jim Crick should pick up the team name Kibisic Crusher. Because, as he pointed out, he hasn't lost him in like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
So I think that he should change his team name to the Kibisic Crusher.
I like that name,
Yeah.
the Kibisic Crusher. That's like the Justin Mahorik's old wrestling move, the Koala Crunch. It's kind of neat. I dig it. Now, I mean, he has to take into account that the Mighty Midgets is, I think that's the team name of his little kid's football team, though.
Yeah, well, maybe he could actually get his kids' team's like football name
Kibisic
changed.
Crusher.
Yeah,
And the emblem on the side of the helmet is like a picture of Craig smiling.
with sunglasses
Yeah,
and
with sun-
beard.
That'd be a terrible T-shirt to wear.
That would be.
I'd wear it. I would not wear that T-shirt. Sorry, you can wear it.
All right, let's get this week started. That's enough rambling for 1 week.
Okay.
Business. All right, my first unfinished business is with Kibisic, as always. And in response to his video, I didn't watch the end of the video, which you said was great, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I watched most of the matchups, and Craig Kubicek is trying to change the meaning of the Devontae Freeman effect. Did you notice that?
I think I did.
He essentially is saying that when Devontae Freeman scores a touchdown, Jay wins.
Yes.
Which might be true, but that is not the Devontae Freeman effect. The Devontae Freeman effect is when Craig Kubicek tried to put a hit out on him to get injured, and he hasn't won a game since. That is the Devontae Freeman effect. So you're going to come up with a different name, but I coined that, and you can't steal it. So that's all I have to say about that.
Did you patent it?
Yeah, I should have.
Should have. Oh, well.
I didn't.
Should have doesn't work in the laws of the world.
Well, everybody, in our league will stand by me, and hopefully they will, as a unified
Song?
front.
Another good song reference.
Stand by me.
Stand by me.
And just realize that Devontae Freeman effect is Craig losing until he apologizes for putting a hit out on Devontae Freeman.
Okay. All right. My
got
first. Yes, I do. My first unfinished business has to do with gags. I don't know if you boys noticed the smack talk through the week. I said something where it was because Gags is really running the smack talk show now since
I know,
he's
he
like
thinks he's running the
top
table.
dog.
Yeah.
I said I hope Treesice wins the whole damn thing, and Boole, which is a self-given
AKA.
nickname, AKA Gags, earns the nickname Gags for a whole new reason. And he comes back with, first of all, I got mad props. Treesice said, ha. Kevin Bean said, bah, ha, ha, smack talk of the year. Then Craig said, Mimos misses his stomach and his wallet.
Yes.
Which is great. And then Rook comes back with, aw, Det, I'm flattered you want to watch Tree and I go at it, but I only go ass to mouth with your girl. Whoa! Crossing the line. You don't think that's crossing the line?
I guess so, but who's he referring to?
Well, yeah, joke's on you, I don't have a girl.
Exactly.
But still, he said ass to mouth. My life is not a porn show, okay? Do not go ass to mouth with anybody. There's nothing going on there. I don't know. But anyways, that's not even my unfinished business.
Wow.
My unfinished business is for everybody to know that Gags he's a wuss. He's a Nancy.
Okay.
He doesn't have any guts. After he came back here with this smack talk, telling me he only goes ass to mouth with my girl, he Facebook messaged me, says, I'm sorry, Datling, I didn't mean to cut so deep. So he doesn't even apologize on the trash talk.
Because he wants to appear like he's still
he's
a
the
man.
Yeah, like that picture of him smoking a cigar, trying to be Kingpin,
Yeah.
is real. So I'm calling you out, Gags. I mean, it's like nut up or shut up.
Ooh.
So shut up.
I don't think you're going to get any more apologies from Gags from here on out.
Probably not. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you're going to be brutal, stay brutal. You think Genghis Khan went to every family that he plundered, pillaged, raped, and tortured later on and sent somebody to say, sorry, I didn't mean to rape all your women. I mean, if you're going to play the role of Genghis Khan in Tonto's demise, you got to be legit, man.
Yeah, you're not going to get the Redskins pen by apologizing behind closed doors.
Right.
If you want
Right.
that pen, you got to earn it. You
Right.
got to mean it.
Right. And it's my pen. I got the award, and you got to take it from my cold, dead hands. So go fuck yourself, Gags. And I won't apologize for that.
Well said, well said. So anyways, did you have a pretty good Veterans Day?
I did. Why?
Well, I was just wondering, did you honor any veterans or anything?
I honored my dad. who's a
Good.
Marine.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to be patriotic, pay respect to people. I want to point out one person who didn't, Craig Kubicek.
He did not?
I don't think so. Because when I watched the video on Veterans Day, I was thinking about, people who are serving our country, doing a great job. And, person in our league, Jeff Vanilla, he's out to sea.
Jeff.
Yeah. He's out to sea, serving with the Navy. Of course he does fantasy football on the side. He doesn't take it too seriously, even though he's doing well. But Kubicek, instead of honoring him, saying, we appreciate your service, everything you put in, no, he calls him out. He's like, I don't get how you put Tavon Austin not in the flex. How are you going to put Deshaun Jackson not in the flex? He's like, that is the worst move of the week.
Wow.
And all he's trying to do is make it so that we can, live a free life and not be invaded by terrorists, you name it, not be bombed by North Korea. or at least a missile sent our way.
Those pixels.
Yeah, and Craig has no appreciation. Jeff, I appreciate your service. You can put whoever you want in the flex, and I won't call you out. Because Craig kept coming back to it. He was 3 matchups later, and he had to come back to Jeff.
True. I mean, yeah. Sorry. First of all, Vanilla Jeff, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. You're out there on a ship all alone with a bunch of sweaty dudes, maybe a couple women that might look like dudes. But we appreciate your service. Well, to be fair, Craig lives in Windber, PA. It's basically a bubble. Craig still thinks that the milkman brings milk to your door and puts it in a little basket. Thinks that everybody walks around in suits and stuff, and there's still minors, and he cooks at the Italian restaurant. He actually thinks that he's in those black and white photos of the family. So he doesn't really know much that's going on outside in the world. I mean, granted, he does have philosophy books or psychology books of Batman and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But he's just not a well-rounded individual.
No.
And for that, we apologize, Jeff. We're going to put him into a school and teach him about the wars. And, maybe one day he will apologize to you. And,
I hope so.
I've always told him, I said, Craig, let's go join the Navy. And Craig has always denied flat, just said, no, we're not going to join the Navy. I said, Craig, you want suspense, you want adventure, you want to go meet different women. And mainly, the main thing I tried to get to him was the women, the exotic women that you can meet, and how they love men in uniform and stuff like that. And I said, you can marry them. They just want the green card, or you could just leave them like Miss Saigon. Now, he always said no, man. So maybe he just doesn't like the armed forces.
He might have something against like all military. Maybe he's like a pacifist. I don't know.
Oh, Craig is very pacifist.
I probably am too.
Are you? Yeah, I don't know any aggressive. I've only seen Craig get aggressive like twice in his life. So, and people tell me all the time it looks like Craig lifts and stuff, and I said no, he's just stocky. Like he doesn't lift. I mean, come on. Like Juice Couture and all them. Like he looks like he works out. I was like, no, man, he doesn't work out. He
might.
He lifts heavy things of steaks. I don't know.
Maybe he does like curls at home.
I don't know. I was at his house. I didn't see any weights, so
It's in that closet.
there's a lot of things in that closet. We're not going to say.
All right. Anything else for you?
Sure.
For unfinished business.
Craig, we're going to call Craig out.
Again.
Craig did a video where I think it was Halloween where he had like the backdrop of New Jersey.
No, that was Jimmy.
That was Jimmy?
Yeah.
That did the video?
Yeah, that was Jimmy. Huber.
Craig was posing as Jimmy Huber.
No, I thought that was Jimmy Huber.
Okay, well, anyway, Jimmy looked a lot like Craig.
Okay.
But I wanted to call him out because his hair, he said his hair was like all undone and stuff like that. It looked like it was windswept.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's the best I've ever seen Craig's hair look. I really think Craig should try to pull that off a lot more. Because the other videos you started seeing, like, the funny part is, as he started losing every game, his hair, besides that video, has become greasier and like more disheveled. And it's just funny because like last video, he's like come over to the side, like I was just like, it looks so terrible. Craig's just like so upset that he won't even take a shower now. But yeah, I think the disheveled look, like the windswept with the sunglasses, really works for Craig. I think that would help him out.
That's good to know. That's a nice comment.
Yeah. So it's a compliment.
Yeah. And I want to say that I meant to point this out last week, but Jimmy Huber, you did an excellent job drawing all those portraits. I thought they were excellent. I don't know if I have a favorite, but they were all magnificent.
They were very nice.
And I hope you get them framed like I pointed out on the message boards. Get them framed, hang them in that room. It could be like the Hall of Fame in your room. You know, whoever's like the champion, you could like hang on top. Loser could be on bottom. But I did appreciate that, Jimmy. So more stuff like that.
Okay. Now, the rest. I have one more unfinished business, and it has to do with Aldon Smith or Aldon Smith.
Okay.
Go screw yourself. Go and hurt my quarterback Ben Roethlisberger for the second time this year. You shouldn't even be in the league. Freaking you try to say you have a bomb in an airport. You drunk driving all the time. Who knows what you did sexual assault on women with like Ray McDonald and those other stupid 49ers. There's no reason you should be in the league. And you go and you end my dreams of fantasy football championship. I really had some high hopes, and you really screwed me over there. So I hate you. I hate the Raiders, and I hope you lose a leg.
That was much milder than last week.
Well, I'm starting to accept it right now.
Yeah.
I have to go against Treesice, who always finds a way to win in the regular season. Look, I mean, like Craig pointed out in his rant, I think Treesice won like 131 to 128 or something like that.
He's won a few games this
Neither
year.
of those guys would have won a game against anybody else.
Yep.
So I know that something will happen where my team implodes and Foy wins.
Maybe
Foy. Jesus. Ryan, Treesice wins.
Maybe your team will all get miraculously healthy in the last week. You'll make the playoffs and make a crazy run.
Are you kidding me? I had to start Marcus Wheaton.
I know. I'm just trying to get your hopes up.
Trying to get to that push. Like, if I can win this week somehow, next week is like where I start having like a full lineup that's healthy. Like, I feel like if you want, it wants to win. Everybody wants to win. James Starks is all of a sudden started to start. T.Y. Hilton's going to come back versus Atlanta. D'Angelo Williams is good. I just don't. I mean, I have good receivers. I have a good quarterback.
You know who you sound like? You sound like Kabisic.
I do. I might be the person that feels his pain the most.
Of course. He's on a 5-game losing streak. You're on a 4-game losing streak. I've lost 5 in a row this year. So, hey, we all feel that pain. You feel like you can't do anything right.
Yeah, but you always lose.
No, I don't.
When you made the playoffs last year, right?
Man, I went to the championship last year.
Okay, but then when was the last time you made the playoffs before that?
Well, that was like 5 years.
5 years? I thought it was 6 years.
Whatever, 5 or 6.
Whatever. But me and Craig are always there. Also, we were like the two pillars.
Craig didn't make it last year.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I made like this might be the first year that Craig and I did not make the playoffs ever.
Well, I think you need to I was going to say Craig, but I think you need to just get some couples therapy,
Craig and I?
Yeah. Or I was going to say Craig needs to start paying the league for listening to all his problems, but I think you and Craig need to start paying all of us for hearing all your problems. We have better things to do than hear you guys complain you probably complain for 20 minutes a week. He does 20 minutes a week. We're going to charge you for an hour. I don't know. Our rate's like $100. We'll split it up.
Are you kidding me? You guys love to hear us complain. We know you do.
I don't. I hear it all the time. I mean, I do enjoy it. I like hearing your misery, but I don't want to hear it for 20 minutes. You can just cry for like 2 minutes and I'd be happy.
I'm a man. I don't cry.
You can just sob for like 2 minutes.
I don't cry. I just whine.
All right.
Trade time, trading guys, excellent.
Wow, we didn't even practice that.
Nailed it.
All right, so let's talk about the trade we made. Some call it collusion, others say it was fair trade. What's your take?
It collusion?
Jimmy Crick.
Jimmy
He
Crick.
called it podcast collusion.
Oh wow! Wasn't Jimmy Crick the one who traded Adrian Peterson?
Yes, he is.
Craig Kabisic.
Yes, he is.
Ultimate collusion.
That was the ultimate collusion.
Yes,
that almost ended this league.
It did almost, effectively almost. It was like a nuclear bomb to the league, and luckily we rebuilt ourselves. Well, it wasn't collusion. It was a fair trade. I mean,
Absolutely fair.
Langford for T.Y. Hilton. Here's the way I looked at it: is
a gamble for both of us.
It was a gamble. Like, you didn't know Langford was going to do anything, and T.Y. Hilton, I thought his foot was gone.
He actually played, huh?
Yeah, he actually played, and I didn't know.
I didn't think he was going to play.
It was a 4:00 game, I think.
Yeah.
And I was in Vegas, so I could not check phones or do fantasy football stuff.
They don't have phones there?
What? When you're in a casino, they all just go out. Like, there's no windows, no clocks, no phones. But no, I wasn't in a fantasy football mode. I was just
Gotcha. You were drunk.
I've accepted. Yeah, I accepted that T.Y. Hilton wasn't going to play. Like, it literally said he wasn't going to play.
I didn't think he was going to
He
play.
had a walking boot on.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't think he was going to play. That's why he traded him.
Exactly.
So, but I thought to myself, well, if I get him and I can survive, like, I knew he had a bye week as well, but then I looked at the remaining schedule and he has some pretty good coverage. Yeah. And of course, Andrew Luck was playing at the time. And I thought, oh, that'll be great. That'll add to my receiver core. Now he's not playing, so
That hurts.
it hurts big time. You might have won the trade.
Because of Andrew Luck.
Yeah, because Andrew Luck. But I mean, Langford showed up. He had like 70 yards rushing. I think
Touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown, like 2 or 3 catches.
Yeah,
he played very Forte like.
He did.
So I don't know what the schedule might get a little tougher going on,
Yeah,
but
they're playing St. Louis this week.
yeah. So, but I think it was a fair trade. It helped us both.
Yeah.
Like, at the time, I had an abundance of running backs, and I didn't know where to put him because I didn't know what he was going to be. I got Woodhead. I can't put him in the flex, and I thought Langford was going to play like Forte. He's going to be like the flex. And my receiving core was Calvin Johnson, Edelman, and I wanted it to be Eddie Royal.
Right.
but he's been hurt with a knee injury, and they don't tell you anything about it. So I couldn't
You're at
hold
the
out hope.
hospital.
Yeah, I know.
How do they not tell
The
you?
doctors were giving me the runaround. They said, well, he might play, he might not. And then T.Y. Hilton. So I said, all right, that's a good threesome. And I'm in Vegas, so threesomes are fun. Let's do it. So, yeah, that was my viewpoint of the trade. What about you, Brad?
I basically thought, T.Y. Hilton's dead to me because he hasn't done really anything for me this year, and there's no way I'm going to keep him as a fourth rounder. I think he's a third or fourth rounder, but I'm not keeping him again. And
Oh, I thought he was done.
No, I could have had him for one more year, but I wasn't going to use it. And I just felt like Luck's been hurt. I didn't realize he was going to be hurt for another 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to lacerate his kidney, but I figured.
That's got to be painful.
Oh, I can't even imagine. But I figured, even if he plays, Luck might be hurt. They're just not on the same page. He had one good game, and I left it at that. My running backs have been crap. When you got like Alfred Blue, Chris Polk, Matt,
What's
Morris,
the combo?
Blue chicken and shrimp,
Chicken shrimp. Bang, bang.
bang bang. Well, I dropped Chris Polk, so now it's Blue. Nothing. It's Blue.
Nobody just wants the.
Now I'm just blue.
You can't get chicken. You want the chicken and shrimp. It's just a combo, Brian. You ruined it.
But I didn't realize that T.Y. Hilton had started the game. I didn't even keep tabs on him. So I thought that making the trade actually helped me win the game, which it kind of did. But if I didn't trade T.Y. Hilton away, I probably would have played him, and he still would have helped me win the game against Jimmy.
Uh-huh.
But I was trying to give myself too much credit there, saying the trade helped me win the week. It did, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm out of moves. I can still trade, but I used my last move today. I'm done.
You used your last move today?
Yeah, I
What
picked
was
up Fitzpatrick, and I plugged him in here, and it's looking awful. He's got 7 points, 7.4, and the Rook has 7. So McCoy, Shady, is actually almost outscoring him right now. So
Oh man.
this is not looking good. Not the start I wanted.
Never.
And I asked Detling for some friendly advice. I said, "What do you think? Should I pick him up and play him, Fitzpatrick?" And he's like, "Yeah, do it." I
What
was
was your other option though?
Teddy Bridgewater coming off a concussion.
There you go. Yeah, definitely would have picked up Fitzpatrick over Bridgewater.
Yeah. My other one was probably James Winston, but
Yeah, Fitzpatrick would probably be better for you. He's got way more weapons.
yeah, I'm kind of hoping that they just want to crush Rex Ryan. They just want to
Yeah,
seek revenge.
I do think they will.
Yeah,
You still got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
plenty of time. No other trades this week, huh?
Not that I saw.
Ever since Gag stopped trading, it was basically like me and you are doing all the trades.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whatever happened to the other trade you were trying to work?
Oh, well, I don't want
I know you
to.
don't trade and tell. But
I don't want to trade and tell. I was called out about that last time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a no trade and tell.
Did it fall through though?
Yeah, it fell through. Well, it did fall through. I didn't give him an answer fast enough. Well, to be fair, I never gave him an answer. It was like a week to go. I mean, so it's not no fault of his. But honestly, I think if we would have made that trade, it would not have helped either of us
Okay.
from seeing their scores last week. It would not have helped either of us. So, and I don't think he would do the same trade again, nor would I actually if we did do that trade. But so it's pretty good. It didn't happen. Actually, I think it's better for me that it didn't happen. Actually, but I mean, I don't want to say the players, but yeah. But I'm still open to offers. If anybody wants to throw a trade my way or something like
What are
that.
you looking for?
I don't even know what I'm looking for right now. anymore.
If you made the deal really, really sweet, I would trade you Phillip Rivers.
I'd probably have to give up something on my starting.
But the only thing is that he's not playing this week.
Oh, there's no point. Well,
Well, you could have him for next week.
I could have him for next week.
Think about it.
What would you be looking for?
I would be looking for running back or receiver.
Like Ronnie Hillman?
No thanks.
No. What?
I'm looking more for receivers, but you probably don't have any to spare. How about T.Y. Hilton? I'm just kidding.
I mean, it might work.
I'm not interested.
Oh, no. Oh, come
I'm not
on.
gonna give you Phillip Rivers for T.Y. Hilton. Who am I, Gags?
You gave me T.Y. Hilton for Langford.
Yeah, that's completely different.
Do you think if you gave me Rivers for T.Y. Hilton, that Jimmy Cook would say collision?
He probably would.
What do you think the whole league would? I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, if you need a receiver that bad and I need a quarterback for 1 week, I rent a quarterback.
If I got a receiver of you, I have to get 2 for Rivers.
2?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you T.Y. Hilton and Marcus Wheaton.
You dropped Wheaton, didn't you?
Did I?
I don't know.
I think I did. I got James White, and I picked up Cole Beasley.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I don't really want any of your receivers. Unless you're going to give me Calvin Johnson and T.Y. Hilton.
screw off. No way. Not for
Screw off,
one
you
week.
hoser.
Yeah. No way.
All right, Delling, since we're not going to get a trade done and we're both pretty depressed because our teams aren't looking the greatest, let's take some calls.
All right. Yeah,
Check.
I'm floating around. I'm like in the purgatory of fantasy football right now.
Yeah, no, are you still in fourth place?
Why you gotta bring that up?
You were in fourth place forever.
It wasn't. I just dropped to 7th. Like every one of those guys won. I even knew, and I looked at those matches. I was like, those matchups are all easy. They're gonna win.
It's still impressive that you were on a 4-game losing streak and you're only in 7th. That's impressive.
It is, and it all harkens back to when Craig literally every video was like, I don't know how Detling keeps on winning.
Yeah.
And the player gets hurt every week. Well, the proverbial shit has hit the fan for me. So I guess so much shit was hitting the fan now that it's clogged and it's no longer moving around. So that's why I'm in 7th place, and probably going to sing further.
All right, so is the light blinking?
It is blinking, Brian,
All right, go ahead.
profusely. All right. Beep.
Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is a strong bad. First time caller, only short time listener. I was stumbling across my degenerate gambling site, sidebet.com the other day, and I came across some stories about your league and stuff. So I thought I'd give it a try. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to some podcasts, and I gotta tell you guys' podcast is pretty sweet. I mean, that Devlin kid, he sucks. He sucks real bad. But that Brian kid, that Volsko, yeah, he's got a real future. I think he could be cable access, no problem. He's a star. He's a friggin' star. But that's not what I called. You know, I called because I wanted to point out in the what do you call it, discrepancies or whatever with your league. So I was watching along this week, and I saw that kid, Devin. He calls his team the Ubersposters, but he got squashed like a pancake. He came up a little bit short, just like a Danny Woodhead is a little bit short. So, I think maybe you need to change his name or something. And also I thought you guys have let that kid, Gags. He's developed quite a team. I don't know how he came about such a team, but it looks like it was through some crappy trades or something. So, all you guys who've been trading with Gags and giving him the super team, you guys are idiots. So, in summation, all you guys talk, except for Brian, he's a star. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Wow, that was a great video, or a great message from the Cookie Monster.
No, strong bad. He's an internet superstar.
First of all, what is the internet? And who the hell is Strongbad? That's Cookie Monster.
It was strong bad, and it's a great strong bad impression. Although there were times where strong bad, it just sounded like he was gonna go right into like a Chinese restaurant like owner, like just had a lot of Chinese intonations. But it was a beautiful call.
Well, I'm going with Cookie Monster. I think he should be on the show.
I'll play strong bad after we finish the podcast.
Okay, all right, that sounds good to me. Yeah, it was a very good call. He really likes you, Brian.
Yeah, huge fan.
Huge fan of you.
Stumbled upon our podcast.
Yeah, well, side prize. Yeah, I mean,
blowing up.
Not a big fan of me, apparently.
No. He said you suck.
Yeah, harsh words. Harsh words.
I love this Danny Woodhead analogy.
That one hurt. That did hurt.
A little bit
short. Yeah. Oh man. I bet he probably sent me a get well card or something like that in the mail because I suck so bad. Well, I mean, Jay Huber must love this guy. He must.
Yeah,
I mean,
he does. He's great.
He's true. The name. I still have the name. Maybe I should change it, but I'm not ready yet. Gosh, it really. I mean, that one really did hurt. That cut deep, man. Cut deep. Strongbow or Cookie Monster,
Strong
whatever
bad.
you are. Thanks for being a fan of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, very perceptive. Within just a few minutes, you could tell that like Gags isn't as good as he actually is, and he got a bunch of crap trades thrown his way. Josh,
Jimmy.
and now, we're all suffering the wrath, and me being the current one, and I think I'm probably losing because I think McCoy has more points than Fitzpatrick.
True. I have a trivia question for you, Brian.
Yes.
Do you know the only person to beat Gags this year?
I honestly don't. I'm gonna guess it's you.
It is me.
I knew. Otherwise, you wouldn't have brought the question up.
That's right. Yeah,
I know
it is
you.
me. When we had normal teams, I beat him, and then he got so mad he had to go get the super team. But I feel if my
I
team
don't
is-
fault him.
Yeah, I don't fault him either. But I feel if my team was 100% healthy, I could still beat him.
You would definitely be a contender. Yeah, I give you that. I think that he's going to win regular season championship. Personally, I don't think that True Size is going to hold on. I think True Size has one more loss in him. No, actually, he has two more losses in him, and Gags has one more loss in him. To me, this week.
I'm thinking of making a crappy trade to Tree Size just to help him beat Gags. Right on air collusion.
I was going to say that's awful. So if we see a trade between you and Tree and it's lopsided, we're going to know you're just trying to get back at Gags.
Pretty much. I mean, we do have a rule in effect that says you can't do anything about it.
Is there a rule in place?
There's no voting on the trade.
But what if Jimmy the Wolf says it's a bunch of crap?
You still can't do anything about it. Jimmy Wolf should have said a couple of those trades that he did, that Gags did was a bunch of crap. But we don't have that power. That power has not been given to us. I took it away.
All right, let's get to the next call. We're just getting depressed again.
Yes, we are. Beep.
Welcome to the next episode of Venus Talking. For this very special episode, I decided to revive a brand new concept, Demisey Theater. And for this very special episode, I will be doing a dramatic reading of Drunk Texts from Deathling. We are at Dino's, the last bar on the strip. Karaoke! Remember what song you did? LOL. Olympic Hardens. Holy shut. Girls, drugs, sex, drugs, overdose. Now drunk the spearmint. Thing took all my money. Make sure there's not more than one wedding while you're there. And scene. I feel like we can all learn a little something from Detling about living life to the fullest and having incredible regrets that we'll never tell anyone about. Unfortunately, he leaked some pictures to me, and Detling has a beautiful, beautiful Asian girl with an equally beautiful Adam's apple, and I hope you had a great time. Gentlemen, things are starting to flesh out a little bit. We got a bunch of 4 and 4 teams. Everybody's battling it out. I wish everybody luck, especially me, to steal Craig's line. Twerk, you're going down this week. Gregory, looks like another year with no playoffs for you. Go out!
All right, Delling. So, the dramatic reading I loved. I really enjoyed the Demisey Theater from Kevin Bean. Is all of that text true? I couldn't hear all of it, but I caught the gist of it. Is all that true?
Why, what do you mean, Brian? I mean, there was some drunk text, just entertaining the league. As far as the wife, I mean, that would explain why her name was Randy. But
You mean the Asian guy?
the Asian, the lady boy, the technical term. But to be fair, even though we are now married, she is still, or she or he, depending on what mood you want to be in, is still more beautiful than any of the wives that Bean has ever had.
Wow.
Even with the Adam's apple. That just gives a testament of how good Randy is with the makeup and the cake, the tape that puts stuff not where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, gotcha.
I left her in Vegas. So if you see me with a wedding ring, don't worry about it. I mean, I'm just gonna get it annulled. It's all right. It's good. Hopefully, I mean, but if I find out that Randy makes a lot more money than I do, I will pretend to stay faithful.
Wow, that was a crazy 4 days. Crazy 4 days.
It really was a crazy 4 days. I had a great time. And like Bean said, you could all learn from me, enjoy life. Sure, you might have a few regrets. But the point is that if you get off your freaking couch, go have some fun, put yourself in some awkward situations. When you're on your deathbed, you can always remember those times and be like, you know what I did? I lived it right. At least I went out and did some crazy stuff.
That's right.
I mean, like what's her name? What's her favorite? Stan Wozniak? Before he went to Sweden, I don't think he was on the other side of Ohio.
I don't think so.
So if you're one of those guys,
Yeah. He went to Disney World a lot.
Disney World. Who goes to Disney World? Nobody.
Good point.
Craig Kubicek does still at the age of 36.
It's family tradition.
It is a family tradition. I cannot knock that. Other than that, I don't know any other reason to go to Florida.
No.
Do you want to
Spring training, maybe.
spring training? True for baseball.
Yeah.
But do you want to go to experience the humidity just to go to the beach where the sand is so freaking hot that you have to wear shoes? No, I don't want to. I will go halfway there to North Carolina.
Good point.
So I got nothing else. This week's matchups. Thought you were going low.
Thought you were going low.
I was going high. You told me how low can I go? I literally thought you were talking about your pitch.
Yeah, and then you kept dropping down on the floor. Like I was really low.
Dude, I can twerk it with the best of them. I mean, I lost the twerking contest to Twerk Kubicek at the time, but I think I brought my game.
There was a second grader at school today who raised their hand and said, "John said a bad word." I'm like, "All right, what?" I always say, whispered in my ear, "What'd he say?" And she's like, "He said twerk." And I just laughed.
Oh, kids say the darndest things these days.
They do.
Twerk.
All
I'm
right.
gonna twerk it all over you. That's terrible.
All right, what's the first matchup?
I'm still laughing about the twerking. Oh man. First of all, before we get into this matchup, let me say, did you see that thing on the news about the two girls being like arrested for sexual harassment because they were twerking the guy in the gas station?
I did not. They actually got arrested.
That one girl did. Literally, like this guy's on his phone. This girl like tries to. It's like this. I don't know, like this Las Vegas gas station stripper. I don't know.
Did this happen to you?
No. This isn't Las Vegas. She looked like a whore. I mean, she's terrible. I mean, she looked like whatever. She looked bad. But no, the guy was on his phone. She like literally put her butt up and started twerking at him. And then like he kind of like turned around, walked away. Then the other girl tried to come over and like sweet talk him or something. She like tried to take his phone away and like kind of kiss up on him.
Were they prostitutes?
I think they were, but he was having none of it. Like he was like, "Get away from me! I do not want to have to be bothered with this." So
Sounds like you.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, girls try to twerk me all the time. At gas stations, South Side now, everywhere, dude. Everywhere I go, it's just twerking. Every once in a while, Josh shows up out of an alley.
Get away from him.
Yeah, Josh's like an alley doing something, and he's twerking. I'm like, what are you doing with your pants around your ankles and twerking? And he just gives me that look, and I'm like, oh dear Lord. So but anyway, okay, back to the matchups. Yeah.
You just missed it. Crystal is like pretending to twerk you.
I missed it. See, even at your house, people are trying to twerk me.
You're very twerkable.
I'm a twerkable guy. The ladies. Can never get enough of the ladies and the lady boys. Thanks, Bean. Thanks for outing me. I hope you never put that picture on the internet. Now, okay, the matchup of not the week. The first matchup is the Mighty Midgets or the Kubicek Crushers
Yeah.
versus FC Bohoric, who is the king of the Koala Crush.
Yes.
I'm looking at the people here. I mean, This is a tough matchup.
Mahork shouldn't even be alive. You let him stay living.
I've let a lot of people stay living with these last 4 weeks. Boy, it's could. Well, I already know that. Like, well, it's pretty crazy with Vincent. What's Vincent Jackson doing in there? I'm gonna go with Bajork because of Drew Brees has been on a hot streak lately, and I'm looking over on the other side. It's Brian Hoyer. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And they're
And Brandon Marshall has nothing.
right now, yeah.
And we're
Neither does
we're
Robert Woods.
2-minute warning. That's true.
But the Buffalo defense has got like 22, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
And Blount. Hold on, I want the sugar cookie one. Yes, I am ordering stuff on the podcast from the lovely Crystal, who also has a lovely website on Etsy, also on Facebook, also makes delicious meals that we're very thankful for. Since it's also Thanksgiving as well coming up.
Thanksgiving.
So, anyways, where was I?
Bajork.
Bajork. Oh yeah. Well, Bajork is blunt. All right, both teams are terrible.
Spiller in the flex.
Both teams are terrible right now. But I'm gonna go give it to Bajork because of the Darkwing Duck avatar.
That's a great reason. I too will be going for Bajork this week. I think Breeze and Buffalo are going to get him 100 points. And you got Hoyer going against Cincinnati. That's tough.
That's really bad.
Really tough. Brandon Marshall, you're hoping that he gets at least a touchdown. Right now, 2-minute warning, he's got a big donut. Robert Woods, you don't expect much, but you got to get something from Marshall. Yeah, I'm not going to put too much thought into this because the loser is going to be buried next week. They'll be, 3-7, and I think both of you probably want to lose just to be put out of your misery. And I think that, Jim, you're going to be taking that dirt nap next week. Jet, you're going to live for at least one more.
To be fair, looking at Jimmy's team, he has a good team.
Just like Jimmy Huber does.
True. Well, no, Jimmy Huber's team has been a lot of crap.
His receivers are crap, but the rest of his team's good.
Yeah, look at Jimmy. He has Latavius Murray, John Stewart, DeMarco Murray, and but his receiver Marshall, LaFell, Robinson, and Robinson's really coming on.
Yeah.
I don't know who his quarterback is normally. It's Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And
got Willie Snead.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. I just don't know how it happened. It must be matchups, like Craig says. Next year, I'm sure he's going to keep Allen Robinson again. And it's going to be in the 16th round, which is such a great. I just remember being so mad this year at the draft when he said it. I was praying that he wouldn't keep him, but I knew the Penn State connection would not fail.
No.
And I'm just as upset now that he's going to keep him next year.
Yeah, we're just turning into a very, very bitter podcast.
On to the next matchup.
All right.
Brian.
And the next matchup, we have the Detonators versus the Rook. And
You're really hurrying this one up.
I am. I don't want to say stick a fork in me, but it's not looking good. When LaShawn McCoy is doubling the points of your quarterback, it's not going to be a good night. I'm just hoping that I can get some garbage time out of Fitzpatrick, get 40 points at least, and just hope that someone on his team. Actually, I need probably 3 people to get hurt, at least.
I don't think the rest of the league would argue with you, Brian.
Yeah. For me to actually have a chance,
Cupcakes too.
aside from Fitzpatrick doing well, I need the Steelers D to completely shut out Cleveland, but somehow Duke Johnson gets 20 points, maybe just in catches, no touchdowns. It's going to be a rough week. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to need a big step up. Delaney Walker, you're going to have a repeat performance, 30 points or more. I'm going to have a huge week from Mike Evans, Martavis Bryant. I don't know what to say. This is I'm going to probably drop him. I'm probably going to put in Javon Curse, but it's not much of an upgrade. This is the one week where I can't go against myself, but I can't in good faith pick myself either. So I'm going to call a tie.
A tie? This is the first. I think this is in history. The first ever predicted tie.
That's the closest
history.
Yeah, that's the closest I'll ever get to picking myself to lose. I'm going to call a tie. What do you think?
That's pretty good. Oh man. Well, I might have made a different decision not seeing these current points, but man, Fitzpatrick with 6.5 points, dude, and McCoy with 11, And he's got him in the flex, too?
Yeah.
The dude put him... How ballsy is it of him to put McCoy in the flex versus the Jets defense in the
Yeah.
flex instead of McFadden versus Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
That's ballsy.
And
And it's working out
so
for him.
far, yeah, so
So, you got to hope for Pittsburgh to have a good thing against Cleveland. God, I hate to say it.
Maybe I'll put Langford in the flex.
Langford versus St. Louis or Johnson versus Pitt? Dude, I don't even know what to tell you. I really don't. I'm sorry. That's tough. I don't know. Maybe I would. Maybe. But what are you going to do? Johnson and extra running back
It's like,
slot?
how do you tell like a little kid that their goldfish died? You know,
Right.
You can't.
Santa Claus isn't coming to Christmas this year. He's not real. Stuff like that.
Like, how do you break the news?
Uh.
There's no good way.
Once again, I'm looking at the Rooks team. It's pretty solid. I won't give them an unstoppable. I will not give you credit anymore. I will just say you have a decent team. All right, I'm gonna pick the Rook over you, Brian. I'm sorry. I feel like he's gonna put the nail in your coffin.
I think we're gonna tie.
You think you're
But
gonna?
I will say this: if somehow I pull out a miracle win, because it probably will be a miracle, I believe that I can make the playoffs. Let me tell you why. I'll have Phillip Rivers back in the saddle, steering the ship, and all I have to do is beat Kabisic, doable. Tresice, doable. Vanilla, yeah, not so much.
Dude, you're losing hope with every word that comes out of your mouth.
Let's put it this way: if I win this week, it's going to take a few more miracles to win it all, or to get to the playoffs.
I completely understand, Brian. I'm in the same zone.
All right, so let's move on to the next
Move on.
matchup.
All right. All right, this next matchup is the Springfield Isotopes versus Vanilla Jeff. And, man, looking at these teams, we got some bye trouble. Peyton Manning versus KC. Antonio Brown without Roethlisberger, which probably annoys the heck out of Craig because the week
yeah.
before, I mean, they get 50 points.
50 points.
Dropped the 50 burger on him.
Yep.
And now he's relegated back to being with Landry Jones. And, man, just can't really help this guy out here. And Julio Jones is on bye. Colby Fleener.
Tony Romo's still hurt.
Yeah. Vanilla Jeff just has I think he has a way better squad. Tom Brady versus the Giants is going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to make up a lot of points on Manning. Currently, Decker only has 1.7 points.
We'll get
But,
something
yeah.
in the second half.
Cobb versus Detroit, another shootout. Hopkins versus Cincinnati. I think they're not going to have any choice but to throw to Hopkins.
Yeah.
And look at him respecting Craig. He's putting Austin in the flex. He said, all right, Craig. You didn't think I would? I'm going to beat you with Tavon Austin in the flex. So that might just happen. Craig's got Landry, Golden Tate, Matthews, and Bell. I mean, it's just nothing really to shout out about Craig's team right now. So I'm going with Vanilla Jeff. I think that he's going to bury Craig.
Wow. And I was just saying off the podcast there could be 3 deaths this week. It could be mass murder in Tonto's demise. I potentially could be killed. Craig, and then
It's like that movie or the TV show Scream Queens.
yeah, exactly. And then the last one is probably going to be, who did we say? Jim Crick.
Jim Craig,
Yeah.
yes.
So, but yeah, I think that I'm not even going to look at this from a fantasy perspective. I'm going to look at this from a reality perspective. Since Craig disrespected Jeff on Veterans Day, for that alone,
Brutal.
Jeff is going to just annihilate him. You know, no respect for the armed forces, and he's basically going to send an Uzi into Craig's little room, into his war room, and just blow him up.
I think it's going to be, I think he's sending a battleship straight for Craig's ass. Boom, boom, boom.
It's going to go right up Paint Creek.
Oh.
And then it's gonna set the target right for Craigie's his bedroom window.
I thought you were
During
going to
the-
say his little bum.
And then during the middle of his video cast, it's like bam.
Man, what kind of a sick show is this? We're talking about ladyboys and battleship bum wrecks.
So yeah, Craig, cover your ass.
Yes, Craig.
It's
please.
coming.
For the love of all of us, cover your ass.
All right, the next matchup we have the current leader of Tonto's demise, Possum Magic, 8-1, and the Huber Squasher on his 4-game losing streak, just grasping at straws, trying to pick up a win. And he's looking to Kirk Cousins, which I'm not going to lie, I tried to pick him up. I was hoping that maybe somewhere Detling dropped him. I knew he had him, but I thought maybe he dropped him because I was like, I need something. And right now, geez, what I wouldn't give to have Kirk Cousins starting against New Orleans. That's going to be a shootout. Well, it's going to be New Orleans running that score up, and Kirk Cousins probably playing from behind, which is pretty much what you're hoping for. Right now, the only points to speak of are 3 points from Sammy Watkins at the half, and Treesice, he's projected to lose, and I think that's going to actually be correct. His 130 points is not going to cut it this week. I predict that Edelman's going to score well, Cousins is going to score pretty big, Calvin Johnson's going to not go up, but he's going to get a decent amount of points. Martellus Bennett's like the only target in town anymore for Chicago. D'Angelo Williams is he's going to be leaned on even heavier this week, and you got him in the flex. Treesice, Denver D is always solid. But when you go up and down the rest of his lineup, just nothing really stands out besides AJ Green, maybe Doug Martin if he has a big game, but doesn't have him in the flex. Mark Ingram could have a game, but I think Detling takes this down, gets it back to 500. Treesice finally drops to second place because Gags and I are going to tie. So, what do you think, Detling?
I like it. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think Kirk Cousins is going against the worst passing defense, and it's going to be a shootout. So a lot of other quarterbacks have had like 60-point games versus him, and I think that's going to be like my major thing. That's one of the reasons I got Kirk Cousins, because I knew this matchup was coming. And yeah, Edelman, Randall, and Johnson, I think are all going to have decent games. You know, I mean, Randall's not the number one receiver, and they're going to be covering Odell Beckham, so it'll probably be like, we'll let Randall have his.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
He'll probably get 10, 15 points.
Yeah. And I'm hoping Ronnie Hillman bounces back. Starks, monster chance here to be the starter.
That's
Big time. D'Angelo Williams, hope his foot's great. Hope he can run through Cleveland. And I really hope that Arizona can upset Seattle. And I'm looking at, sure, Macklin's got to play against Denver defense. But so whatever he gains helps me against the Denver defense.
Right.
And although Aqib Talib is suspended for one game, but he's still going to get the other guy, Harris. And like I said, Watkins isn't doing much right now. Flacco, I think there's going to be a lot more running than there is passing. I think I'm going to pull the upset. This is a genuine thought, not just because it's my team.
Right.
And I think when I do it, when they do it, I'm going to actually call Treesice and pull that famous line that I might send him a T-shirt of Kirk Cousins where it says, "You like that? You like that?" I think that's what Treesice is going to get and he'll have to wear the next draft.
That's good. Underneath his Romo jersey.
The Romo. Well, no, I honestly think the Romo jersey, Gags is going to be wearing it.
Wow.
Calling you out, Gags. All right, this next matchup is the Raritan Pups versus the Chips, my boy. Others we like to call the Huber Shit Show. Carson Palmer going against Seattle Sunday night. There's a big game for you. And then David Carver's Minnesota. I'm looking at this team. Both teams' receivers aren't that great. Although Jordan Matthews decided that he finally knew how to not drop the ball anymore versus me.
Of course against you.
Of course me, yeah. I saw that. Oh, by the way, when I was at the airport waiting for my flight, the Dallas Cowboy versus Eagles game was on in the middle of the waiting room area. So there's like literally 100 people watching this on TV.
Of course.
And that touchdown happened. It was like erupted into cheers from all the Eagles fans. And all the Cowboys fans were like, "Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?" Blah, blah, blah. It was kind of funny, but I also knew that kind of like sunk my ship.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, Peterson versus Oakland could be pretty good. I was going to go with Jimmy.
Who's averaging 100 points a week.
All right. I'm picking Jimmy, and it's out of spite. I'm going to say he's going to upset Jay. And I heard that Jimmy loves the Cookie Monster. Now, there is no such thing as... So I'm just going Storm Bad. Strong Bad, the stupidest internet character in the world.
You don't even know him.
I don't know him, but the voice...
You're just ignorant.
The voice just reminds me of that guy from Trailer Park Boys. With the goggles and stuff. It just annoys me.
I just thought... You said he sounded like Cookie Monster.
I love the Cookie Monster.
All right.
Cookie Monster's great. One of my favorite Sesame Street characters. That and the
great.
Oscar the Grouch.
Great character.
Yeah. So, all right. So, go Jimmy. Pull the upset off. Show your brother who's the big brother.
All right. So first of all, congrats to Jimmy for getting the marriage certificate. In about pretty much 2.5 short weeks, he's gonna get that thing signed. So go get him, big guy. And thanks for the invitation. Really wish I could have made it.
Son of a.
It's kind of just tough getting across the state over Thanksgiving, but our thoughts are going to be with you, and really hope it goes well. Hope it's an awesome day. Jay, I know you're the best man again, and I'm sure you'll come up with a great speech. Hopefully it has nothing to do with you beating him in fantasy football, which you're going to do this week. And I know that Jimmy, seeing that he's out of it, he's going to be cheering you on. He wants you to crush him. So do the man a favor and just beat him, because he wants you to make the playoffs, as do I. And I think you're going to do it. I think Amari Cooper, Jordan Matthews are going to get it done. Peterson and Ivory. Ivory's got to get some work done here in the second half. Not sure about Malcolm Floyd. Didn't really play last week. Got 0. Got hurt. And
I think he's hurt.
Yeah. Hopefully he can
I think he's out.
healed up. Really.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, you need to pick up a kicker right now. You're Bryant's on the bye. You'll figure that out. But yeah, Jay, you're just gearing up for the playoffs. All right, just get ready. You're gonna be there. You're gonna bring it home. Bring one home for the Hubers. And we're gonna have that next draft up there in State College area. We're gonna go to Tonto's Demise, or what is it? The Dark Horse.
The Dark Horse.
Yep, we're gonna get Tonto's Demise. You can get yours, Virgin Tonto's Demise if you want.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Sure, Jim Crick's laughing.
Right, yeah.
But anyways, Huber matchups usually a little more exciting than this. But you
Right.
know what? There's not going to be any smack talk. There never is anyway.
I was going to say, you do realize that the more people that are from the east side of the Pennsylvania is in the playoffs, the more likely we have to drive.
I would do it for Jay.
Okay, but you also do realize that it's your turn to drive.
Fair enough. I'll
Fair
drive.
enough.
Yeah.
So
pay
if
for
it's
gas.
back in Gettysburg and stuff, like we had to go before, you have to drive.
I'm good with that.
All right, as long as you go with that, I'm good.
Now, if Gags wins, I'm not good with that.
No, well, revolt. The matchup of the week. Dubsy Hooligans versus Twerk Kubisic. Kevin Bean versus Josh Hayward. Both 5-4 records. Both fighting for the playoffs. And it looks like it could go right down to the wire. Blake Bortles versus and Andy Dalton. Who would have thought those would be two starting quarterbacks? So you'd be like, hey, that's actually decent.
Playoff
Yeah.
quarterback.
Right. And I actually just spot. You did a game I Spy.
Yeah.
Like, I spy a Pierre Garcon sighting.
Wow.
I don't think we've ever said he's been in a lineup this
I
year.
don't think so either.
It's crazy. The only thing I ever heard about was him and Fandle.
The waiter.
The way Garcon. I'm looking over these two teams. They're looking pretty evenly matched. Even in tight ends, like
Yeah.
Gronkowski and Eifert, both.
Eifert's-
I mean,
He's no slouch.
no, I think that the flex might be Lamar Miller versus Stephon Diggs. I think Lamar
That
Miller
goes to
wins
Miller,
that. Yeah. Now, everybody's receivers are pretty tight. I might give the. I think the running backs are equal too. Well, I might give it to no. Sorry, I was trying to figure it out, but no.
It's a toss.
I only think the flex goes in Bean's favor. Other than that, well,
defenses are pretty even.
I'll go Gronkowski in his favor just because it's Gronkowski.
Slightly, yeah.
Carolina defense versus Tennessee is pretty good. St. Louis versus Chicago is pretty good as well. Gosh, this is a tough matchup, you guys. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna go with Bean. I'm gonna say he ekes out the win by maybe 5 points. You want to say? Let's say.
Yeah.
So I really can't give you too in-depth analysis. this is pretty tight. This is a good matchup, guys. I would watch this. This is like a Sunday night matchup for football on NBC or ESPN or whatever it is.
Like last week, whenever it was Vanilla versus who's he playing with Tree.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, it's the matchup of the week. And we are like, no, this sucks. This matchup sucks because Jeff had so many players on his bench.
Right.
And but this is a legitimate, barn burner. We're gonna have ourselves a nice little matchup here, and I'll venture to say that whoever wins this is nearly guaranteed a playoff spot. because after that they just have to win one game out of the last 3. So whoever wins this is probably in, and I honestly don't know who that's going to be. I think I'm going to lean towards Bean as well. He's got the hot players right now. Crabtree is on fire. Cooks is on fire. Forsett, if he's healthy, he's doing well. Can never go against Gronk.
I think Hearns is hurt.
Is he hurt?
I heard he might have like a sprained foot or something.
Did you hear that?
Oh boy.
But yeah, Lamar Miller, he's on fire. Carolina D can't be stopped. And then Twerk Kabisic, you've got solid lineup, but they're just like so-so players. Like Stephon Diggs, he could get you something, might not. Eifert, he's going to do all right. Fitzgerald, fountain of youth. Manuel Sanders, like hit or miss. Bortles, that's your boy. You will forever be tied to Blake Bortles.
Who, me?
No, Josh.
Oh, okay.
He will forever be tied to him, just like me and Jeff Garcia. Like, he will always be Blake Bortles' bitch.
Wow.
So,
If he wins the championship, do you think he'll get a Blake Bortles jersey?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Josh, please buy a jersey. Who cares if it's from like China or something like that? Just buy the Bortles jersey, man. I'd respect you for that.
Shove it in our faces.
Yeah, I would.
But yeah, I think Josh might still make playoffs, but I think Dub C, Dub C probably should be like 7-2, and he's 5-4. He should already be in the playoffs, like with a stranglehold on like second place, and he knows it. So Dub C, you get the win this week. It's gonna be a close one though.
Very.
All right, any final thoughts, Delling? How was that cupcake?
That's delicious. I can barely speak. It's so good. Got like creamy peanut butter. What is that? Peanut butter? Peanut butter filling in the middle of it. It's damn good.
You can barely talk. You sound like peanut butter. It's like stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, I know. All right. I got a little more room. Yeah. Final thoughts. It's tight out there, boys. I mean, I don't know what you can do to get yourself in the playoffs. I'm the one person floating around. All you guys, like Craig said, he pretty much thinks that the 6 that are in there right now are the ones that are going to be in the playoffs, which is pretty fair assessment at this point. The ones that have hope, I'm clinging to hope right now.
I mean, you only need, 2 wins? Or do you need 3?
Probably 3, I think, actually. Yeah, because of the 7 wins rule.
So basically, you can only afford 1 more loss.
Right. Weren't we supposed to talk about Craig and his 20-minute rant?
Yeah, we were.
Actually. Okay. Final thought. It's like fun. Everybody, if you didn't listen to Craig on his on the video cast, he even said it that I bet you now it was just like his matchup that came. That was the last one he talked about. He said, "I bet you guys are all just going to turn this off. I'm just going to vent a little bit." Well, I didn't turn it off. I listened to it because what I do is I kind of like go through people's matchups real quick. I listen to all of mine, and I usually listen to Craig when he's talking about his team too because I like to hear what he analyzes. But
Especially when he loses.
well, yeah, that too. But he goes off for like 20 minutes, maybe 30. I don't know. But he is pretty hilarious with his team. Like
I'm going to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you could tell the bitterness and the frustration of this kid at having to deal with like this 3-6 record when he believes that his team is so strong and that it should be in playoff consideration. And I completely understand where he's coming from.
Do you agree with him?
I do agree. He's gone up against like what was it, against Gags was 200 points.
Yeah,
and
that
was one before Gags.
Yeah.
Where it was like 200 versus 200. He lost. Gags beat him. He had like 183 points. When I think he has like the most points scored for, I guess, right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so Craig fully thinks that he should be in the playoffs. And if it were up to points alone, he would be. But since we have these head-to-head matchups and you never know which one you're going to get, like you said, you think that Craig fixes it, so you always play him twice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if Craig does fix it, he's still 3-6. That's the point. Like, maybe like one year you might have a great team and you might beat him twice, and then if the next year you see that you are not on the list twice, you know it was fixed.
Yep.
But yeah, I do feel bad, but it's worth going back and listening to him because I feel the same way. I could talk a while about my team too. But keep on doing the videos, Craig. keep on letting your frustrations out. That's therapy.
Yeah, it's therapy. Get it out there.
Yeah, it's good.
Can't bottle it up.
No, you can't bottle it up, or you'll erupt in the back of the kitchen of love. So those are my final words.
Erupt in the kitchen of love. That just sounds wrong.
That does sound right. I didn't even think about it like that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, so it's tight matchups, guys. Good luck to all of you, and especially me.
That's like so overused. I love it though. I'll say this, Gags. My offer still stands. Dozen donuts for every player you bench. So effectively, let's say that my Fitzpatrick only scores like 10 points. You could probably safely bench 3 of your players and get 3 dozen donuts and still beat me. So just putting it out there.
3 dozen donuts.
A 1 dozen for every player he benches.
Wow. Wow.
How many players would you bench if you were Gags against me? And still try to win.
Still try it with 2. I go with 2. Gags, do you realize this monumental chance you have? Like, if
You love food, man. You love food.
yeah, you love food. It'd be like not starting one of your running backs. So, what kind of donuts are these? Are they like Dunkin' Donuts, or are these like those awesome donuts you get when you go to Philadelphia?
I'll get him whatever he wants. Maybe he probably has a favorite place in his neck of the woods.
So you would drive out there
No, I'll call the shop and I'll just order him and send him to his.
and pay the delivery fee.
Sure. I'll have him delivered to his workplace.
No, you can't give it to the workplace. Gotta give it to Gags' home.
I don't, but he might have to share it with his family.
We'd rather share with his family than the people he works with.
I would rather no. He would put it down by himself at work.
Well, do you think? What, you think he's gonna fight the people up? We don't know what kind of people he works with. These people might be twice as big as Gags. Like, could you imagine lunches they go on to for lunch breaks? It's like true buffet.
He might have to share that guy who tosses salad
What?
on the boat.
Oh. True. That was a good tongue lashing.
All right, Gags, we're gonna end it on that. I'll know how many dozens of donuts you want on Sunday morning.
That's true.
You ready, Doug?
Go Steelers. Yeah, I'm ready. Hopefully we can do a lot better than we did last time.
That's true.
Ready?
Good.